Welcome to the second semifinal, everybody. Resurgence is playing Panda Global. The game got a tiny little bit delayed because apparently there was a bit of, let's call it a misunderstanding between the two teams. The Drama Llama informed me that there was apparently a few questions between the two teams. The admins were involved and the entire thing was blown a bit out of proportion, probably. Like, I don't know exactly what happened there, but apparently the teams are not really very close and don't like each other very much after this. Anyways, we're going to have a game. The semifinal is finally starting, so I hope that it's going to be all good. Are we going to see Li-Ming banned again, yes or no? Zagara already banned out by Resurgence. Panda Global, they have the opportunity to ban something else but Li-Ming, so we could see her. Greymane is banned out today because there's still a bit of a bug on one of his Q talents, which could result into the explosion occasionally doing double damage, so therefore the hero is today, for this tournament, completely banned out. But Panda Global, running down a time pool, they're thinking about it. No insta-ban on Li-Ming, and I actually like that. So let's see if we're going to see her for the first time here today in one of the games. We are, of course, now currently in our second semifinal, and we are seeing a Tirana ban. Li-Ming, woo! She's in the game. Li-Ming hype, I'm liking it. So we're going to see a little bit of dirty girl action here with Panda Global now locking down that false set right away. We have, of course, a lot of heroes still available right now to the two teams that are incredibly powerful. It looks like Panda Global actually... Yeah, I was really surprised to see that ETC there. I was about to talk about Kel'Thas because it would have been very surprising for Panda Global to not lock Kel'Thas down. Resurgence, then again, with Li-Ming already. Let's see how they're going to try and complement the hero here. First of all, we have, of course, for Panda Global now Kel'Thas, who is also a very powerful mage. Li-Ming has been the hero that everybody has been talking about, especially her level 4 talent that we usually see. In general, the orb build for her is incredibly powerful and probably one of the most used builds that we have these days. And the S of Johan on level 4 is just out of this world. With the interrupts that you can dish out, it's crazy good. And it's one of the talents where Dustin Browder already said that they are currently looking at the talent and think about tuning it down a little bit. Jaina now as the potential addition to the setup here. So we're maybe going to see an all-girls squad. I don't really think that's going to happen. But Jaina would add a second mage to the equation. And therefore we could see that burst damage that Jaina is of course so fond of. And it's a Rhaegar instead. Yeah, Rhaegar, of course, the hero that next to Li-Ming has probably seen the most massive rise in win ratio since the last patch. The shield build for him is absolutely crazy. It is so damn good to have these lightning shields. And we have a couple of different... I don't really want to say different builds, but we have a couple of talents where you can really make adjustments. Level 13, for example, is a very powerful talent for Rhaegar. Now, since he can get an extra shield for the heroes, we can also, of course, see a cooldown reduction, which is very powerful. On level 1, we've seen different talents taken if you compare Europe and North America. Jaina still being locked down here. North America is currently leaning a little bit into the increased range on the lightning shield, whereas Europe is very fond of the lightning bond that allows you to get a second lightning shield out at the same time on Rhaegar himself. So it's a bit of preference what we see here. But of course the hero has been changed massively. It's still a little bit new in that case. Li-Ming as well. We see Stitches now banned out by Panda Global. And Zeratul, very smart. People have been talking about potential counters to Li-Ming, and in general, everything that really can keep up with her blink or lock her down seems to be something that could be used. And Zeratul is very popular in the North American server, and with the Vorpal Blades, he's one of the heroes, especially with the new Shadow Assault, that can jump her and try and take her down. In theory, we could, for example, see Illidan's doing something similar. Illidan has popped up again in Europe, but we're currently on North America here, and we see Panda Global now lock down that ETC that they were already thinking about earlier, but that they abandoned because they wanted to help Kel'Thas first. Now they still have a chance to go for ETC, and they do use exactly that together with Thrall. So Thrall can use Sundering, and ETC can try to dash in and then get a mosh pit in, whereas Resurgence is saying, hey, we have Li-Ming, we have Jaina, we have Rhaegar, we want to have even more sustain now on our heroes. We get the shields on Tacita as well, we get the vision on the map, and can play a solo frontliner. That kind of could be mirrored in. It kind of has to be mirrored in, I feel. No, Johanna would work as well, I suppose, yeah. I actually think Johanna is a good choice here too. Mirrodin popped in my head first because he has the highest hit point pool and great survivability. Johanna, of course, had the added advantage of like having that condemn and also that blind to make sure that you can just like get heroes a little bit away from the opponent there. So solo frontliner, Johanna's very good in that spot, as is Mirrodin. We have Panda Global now with a healer that they still need. There's Uther around, Charism. We could also, of course, like see some, like oftentimes we are even seeing something along the lines of a Malfurion chosen on the North American server here. Tyrande banned, Tacita taken, Rhaegar, of course, also snatched away. So are they going to run this with a potential Divine Shield right now, or how are they going to react to this? ETC with a Divine Shield with a Mosh Pit would be nice. Thrall, of course, if he goes deep as well. That's one of the advantages if you run an Uther. That stun also helps, but still, we have the added mobility on a hero like Charism that can maybe dash in. We've seen a lot of Morales actually played as well. It's of course a question if you can really play him against this setup that Resurgence is currently running here. Sky Temple is going to be the map, and you can already tell that Panda Global is hesitating a little bit. Not locking that hero down yet, and they don't have a lot of time left. Like, boys, they need to... Oh, Brightwing it is. Yeah, Brightwing works in the sense that they have another lockdown with the Polymorph. They have a lot of shields. They have vision as well. We don't see too much Brightwing these days. I didn't even mention Brightwing because they already have some global presence with Falstad. So let's see how Brightwing is going to plan out for them in this case now. It can, of course, get great healing power out and has a bit of wave clear too. I'm very curious, guys. Li-Ming for the first time, and it's going to be pretty amazing. Resurgence versus Panda Global. At this point, as I said, it's already a bit of a grudge match between the two teams, since there were a few, well, let's call it misunderstandings before the game actually started. So we are going to jump into Sky Temple here at the semifinal of the North America qualifier for Enter the Storm to check out which team is going to advance to meet Tuark in the finals. The semi-final number 2 is starting, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Resurgence is playing against Panda Global. The Pandas are playing to the right, and well, this game has started immediately with a quick pause here. Not really quite what I wanted to see. We already had a pretty big delay here earlier. So we had a DC apparently on the side of Rixie. So it's apparently a very ancient computer that's being used there. Well, we can at least introduce the players in the meantime. That, of course, gives us a bit of time to talk about the setup here as well. First of all, to the left side of the map, we are seeing Resurgence with Equinox on Li-Ming. We have Dehu on Johanna, Kilig on Jaina, Shot on Tacita. We're also seeing Rixie now on Rhaegar, apparently already connected back to the game. To the right side of the map, Falstad, played by Michael Uldal. We are seeing Big EM PCD on Kalthas, aka Phase on Brightwing, B-Kid on ETC, and we have a Thrall played by Psalm. So in this case right now, we have for the first time actually Li-Ming in action, and well, we're going to focus of course on her talents quite a bit. As you can see on level 1, we immediately see the Power Hungry, which is of course especially the mana that you get out of this. So in general, we're going to take a closer look at that. So you also have in this case then the additional ability power, which is going to be quite important. We're seeing for Rhaegar the Electric Charge, as we already pointed out a little bit earlier. It's one of the preferred talents that we see currently on the North American server compared to what usually happens in Europe, where it's more the Lightning Bond. Might of course change. The hero just received all the changes within the last few days, so it's still important to note that there can be a lot of adjustments in the future on the talent builds that are being used, but for now there's a bit of a change between Europe and North America when it comes to that. Overall now, we have those orbs being spammed out once again. Li-Ming, of course, one of the heroes that everybody is very excited about, especially since the hero got also banned out a lot throughout the tournament already. Equinox rocking that skin here as well. Oh, nice Oracle by Shot. That was actually close. And once again, using the orb here. The orb build overall is one of the builds that we see probably played the most. And it's incredibly powerful. That level 4 talent is something that Dustin Browder already announced is probably going to be changed a little bit. The interrupts are just too strong. Locked down already the attempt to go for Johanna. A 4 versus 3 in the mid lane. B-Kid is low. Equinox blinks in and takes down, uses the teleport here and eliminates ETC. So a nice jump. The gap closer that you have on the hero is of course quite nice, and it's actually like pretty sweet. One of the most important things of course is the trait that we see here for Li-Ming, and just like that cooldown reset is absolutely insane. It's really cool. If you get those kills, then you can just like go completely nuts on the hero, and that's of course something that they are currently banking their hopes on as well. The teams are going for the temples now as they spawn at the bottom of the map. We see Tacita against, first of all, Falstad. Kalthas in the mid lane right now. The team's aiming for level 4 on the extra talent, and we are already seeing for Thrall the Chain Lightning build being used here. We have also Falstad with the Seasoned Marksman, and the rotation again towards the middle of the map, where Kalthas is trying to sneak a few of those shots in as well. The earlier level 4 then on the other hand has been taken here by Team Resurgence, and they run on Li-Ming, of course, the S of Johan, whereas we're seeing Snowstorm for Jaina, Healing Ward actually taken on Tacita. Keep in mind that they're currently running with a double support build, so they can actually adjust a few of the talents that we've seen played over the last few days. One of those adjustments is the level 4 talent for Rhaegar, who still goes into the Feral Heart here. Most of the Rhaegar players that we have seen so far today decided to go into the mana cost reduction on the Lightning Shield and the increased duration by 2 seconds. Pretty cool talent also if you're of course trying to go for the level 16 shield talent, where you do more damage against heroes every single time that it procs. It can be really nice, but in this case it's more the lane sustain that Rixie wants to have on his Rhaegar. Feral Heart got nerfed in the past. Now it was at 100% increase on mana and health regeneration. Now it's down to 75. Still pretty solid if you want to stay on lane a bit more and you don't want to go back all that often. It's a talent that we haven't really seen today yet, but already a slight adjustment, as I said. Amplified healing now for Johanna has been taken, so no loss of hope. Actually here on the North American server, we see that a little bit more often these days. We saw that especially with Rhaegar earlier on once more. We have already an adjustment also for Brightwing, who did not go for the Peekaboo as the level 4 talent, but instead, as you can see here, we have now the Manic Pixie taken. So also an important talent to note. Nice move here from Tacita, moving away immediately. The rotation is not hitting him hard. And up to the top lane, we're seeing currently with the Orb and together with the help of Johanna, one of those waves taken down, or one of the camps currently. So, mana problems, Li-Ming has to be a bit careful with that. She's draining mana quite quickly if she's trying to spam her ability out, especially, of course, then later on in the game when she resets her cooldowns during the team fights, she can really drain mana quite quickly. But for now, she's basically just like roaming the map, taking a few camps here. The teams are both on level 7 right now, and of course that gives us another chance to take a quick look at the talents here. Seeker has been taken, and we're also seeing now, as I already said earlier, the S of Johan taken, which is super important because it basically interrupts all of the potential channels. That would, for example, be the mosh pit on ETC. But the Seeker here can be quite nice as well to use that for the extra damage. You want to dish out as much damage out as you possibly can, of course. Also, we have on level 7 the Frostwolf's Grace taken, so you can actually like activate that now on Thrall. Bottom Temple in the hands of Resurgence, and instead we just see heroes moving to lanes to soak experience for the opponent. Panda Global is trying to go for a kill against Tacita, who immediately dimensional shifts or phase shifts away. So that worked out for him, but there's of course the threat to take down one of these towers. Keep in mind that the towers do extra damage now also against heroes, so that's another thing that we have to consider here. We are seeing already power play here by Keltas at the bot lane. The mage battle is real. There's the wizard. Oh, nice teleport. Well done. Equinox just darts away in the last moment before that hits, but Tacita at the top lane has finally found his master. Or I should say his masters, because there's 3 of them jumping in. And of course Brightwing here with the lockdown thanks to the polymorph can really help out in these situations. Great pressure player actually on the side of Panda Global, but they're still behind in experience, just slightly though. It's an earlier level, it's more or less level 9.5 that we're currently seeing for Resurgence at this point. The teams of course both heading straight into the level 10s. We're seeing at the same time now again ETC on the run. There's 3-4 players starting to move in, which also means that the bot lane is pretty much abandoned and allows Kelthas to push that in quite heavily right now. Level 7 with the Crusade marches on, so the lower cooldown after the heroic and basic abilities. So as long as you spam a few of your abilities, you get that in. Eternal Retaliation works actually really well with that, because that is another ability that you can use, and if you have that in a team fight, you can really reduce that cooldown on your Iron Skin quite significantly. In this case though, no cooldown reduction talents for Johanna, so not really trying to use that synergy. We have, of course, for now, also the level 10 abilities taken. Pretty much the standard for most of the heroes here. We're seeing the Force Wall on Tacita. We have also Ancestral Healing now taken. Blessed Shield for Li-Ming, as expected. We're seeing immediately disintegrate. Especially all of the people that have been playing Diablo 3 quite a bit are very familiar with that. And if you have been, if you've been playing Ladder over the last few days, then you definitely know what that is, because you probably met that a lot. Blessed Shield, still no talent for Jaina. Could go into the Ring of Frost here, or the Water Elemental. Both of them totally well, but I guess Water Elemental with the drop and forget would maybe be a bit safer here. Phoenix now in play, and we also have ETC with the Stage Dive. Now Stage Dive got buffed. The talent got actually buffed and does more damage now. Was one of the recent changes that Blizzard made already. Oh, the kill maybe against someone quite Sundering is in. They go for Li-Ming, and she is not down. It's Rhaegar who dies. Li-Ming actually was able to escape here. My bad, mixing them up for a second, but the Mighty Gust is putting Li-Ming into a really shitty spot, and yeah, she is dead. Down she goes. Resurgence is losing 4 heroes. Oh, Thrall! The tornado whirls him into the boss, and the boss finishes him off, but they are still trying to get it. We have Rhaegar already back, and he's going to try and make his way over. 2 temples have been activated. Shot is still there, but he can only look, not touch. And the boss is down. Yeah, Shot is not going to try to go for it. Boss has been claimed. They were kind of forced into taking it. Dropped in by the opponent's team. That Thrall died there was a little bit of a weird coincidence, I suppose. That tornado definitely did not like him. That tornado was just a bit too much. But now the boss is at the bot lane. We have both of the shrines, on the other hand, currently soaked by Resurgence, and that's something that B-Kid is trying to change here. Starting to move in. Level 13 talent should be much faster now for Panda Global, who are currently doing pretty well. Talking about doing well, looking at the damage, hero damage on Li-Ming is already at 9,500, 10,000 on Khaldor so far, so he wins that mage duel between the two of them. A kill on every single hero here for Resurgence, but overall stats, 55,000 siege damage that we're currently seeing on Falstad here, so he's doing pretty well with this too. At the top lane, ETC is currently soaking the temple. Keep in mind, he has stage dive, he can actually jump in here. We've seen a lot more stage dive after Blizzard buffed the talent. They did that with a lot of heroic abilities, and a great kill here actually. Psalm is trying to move out. Oh, Li-Ming! She's trying to get away, gets healed and escapes, but barely teleports away. Once again, we have the orb, but Equinox has now to move away. Level 13 talents, chain bombs have been used. The static shield on Falstad. Look at that. Would have thought. Spell shield. Oh, shields everywhere now. The respect is real. Spell shield against the Li-Ming damage has been used now as well. We're seeing once again, of course, Pixie talents taken for Brightwing. That's not really a surprise. And ETC, in case that you haven't seen it yet, went actually for 2 of his face melt talents. First of all, face smelt on level 13 and loudspeakers on level 7 for him. There's the static shield, as we already said, and we have in the case of Thrall, the spell shield here. Yeah, Li-Ming is going in for the experience right now, and they're very close to level 13, and that means, once again, of course, that we have a couple of talent adjustments, and in this case, it is the Illusionist, so the teleport range that you, the additional one that you get. Up here, up to the top lane, already another approach to jump in and hold your ground taken. So a lot of focus on Johanna for her trade. We don't really see that much of a focus usually. She is the solo frontliner though. Even with a double support, they want to make sure that she is going to survive, and incredibly powerful, of course, if you have that iron skin up all the time, thanks to the cooldown reduction that you get from the basic and heroic abilities here. So the setup is still with a 5 versus 4 at the top lane. Brightwing is split soaking experience at the bottom of the map, can jump in, of course, at a moment's notice, and Falstad is in the mid lane. So there's a lot of soak going on right now for Team Panda Global, and that is a bit of a problem for Resurgence. They get the 4 tier, but they are actually starting to lose experience everywhere else on the map, and the only thing that Panda Global is really trying to do is they are trying to get level 16. And they're extremely close to making that happen. Falstad already moved back. There's still a 5-man roam on the map by Resurgence, attempting to go for, well, basically the waves, taking a few of those camps as well. Equinox already delivering the orb again. But right now, things are looking a little bit tricky for them. They are up against the level 16 talent. That means hammer time for Falstad, Arcane Barrier for Khaldor, who's going to be very happy about that. We're also seeing the Echo Paddle for the additional damage on ETC, and even more Chain Lightning, the double Chain Lightning actually on 16 for Thrall. I haven't seen that in quite some time. They go for a potential fight at the bot lane again. There's no level 16 talent, but apparently Resurgence is absolutely fine enough going for this. There's so much poke on the other hand. A Chain Lightning alone, hammer time, Khaldor's with the bombs. They're starting to move in, and they are going straight for Johanna. ETC in the back line, jumps in, darts immediately into the opponent. And oh my god, that Ring of Frost. They take down Johanna though, but B-Kid is dead. And everybody else is also extremely low and has to move away here. Once again, the orb with the damage disintegrate has been used here. Equinox is trying to dish out the damage, and he indeed does with his Li-Ming. But still, it looks like Talsada might fall here. Michael with all his Falstad is still there. Equinox trying to push the damage in, but this time Falstad was ready. Yeah, of course, I mean, for ETC it makes also a lot of sense, by the way, to go into the stage dive here, considering that Li-Ming with that S of Johann can always interrupt quite easily that mosh pit. So we have Falstad flying around, getting the experience in the middle here for his team, looking at the damage output once again as we see a bit of a fight happening down here at the bottom. Look at Li-Ming here, 20,000 for her team. They're going again for Kel'Thas. Kel'Thas low, Falstad flying in, not really going for the kill just yet here. Couldn't really lock anybody down. We have also now Johanna back to business, but that puts that temple into the hands of Resurgence and them a little bit closer to dropping one of those keeps, because the entire wall here is already gone. And interestingly enough, we still have a fort, even though nearly dead, in the mid lane for the team in blue. Very cool play here. Level 16 talents are already for them. Once again, we have the fight starting up here, down to the bottom of the map though. Rhaegar went into the lightning shield talent. We're going to talk about it in a moment. Falstad flying away, getting shielded, and nearly falling, but not quite. And now the kill against Jaina. Michael is starting to move in once more. Li-Ming over there, she is, goes for the orb. Doesn't get the damage in. Nobody was really in range. B-Kid with the attempt to just slide through them once again, and he does. Goes for the face smelt, and the kill against Rhaegar. The bombs are spreading, but shot is not falling yet. And Equinox keeping himself in the background with his Li-Ming, always trying to get a few more orbs in, always trying to dish out a little bit more damage. They go for the boss again. Might be a bit of a ballsy call. We have 5 heroes on the map against 3, but it's level 16 versus 16 talents, and the boss is doing work. Here comes that force wall. Equinox once again trying to move in. There's Johanna. Everybody blown away. They go for the point, and they take it. Great move here once again by Panda Global. They're still 2 levels ahead, and they are playing a very, very nice game right now. Solid effort on their part. Level 16 talents. First of all, the tidal waves for the cooldown reduction again has been taken here on the side of Rhaegar. We see him with the Rising Storm on level 16. One of the reasons why a lot of Rhaegar players go for that Lightning Shield talent on level 4, which he did not go for. He didn't choose to use that. Li-Ming with the Mirror Ball now taken. So the magic missiles find an additional 2 missiles right now. We're having, by the way, again, Illusionist on level 13 in case that you missed it earlier. Seeker on 7, S of Johan on level 4, and the Power Hungry talent taken on level 1. Fanaticism has now been taken on level 16. As I said before, the high focus on Johanna's trade has been used here throughout the entire match already for Resurgence. Panda Global is in a great spot right now. 9 kills against 3. They're looking strong here. And Li-Ming in that first game that she plays in the competitive scene in North America is not really looking too powerful. She's not really looking like she's going to win the game. Let's just put it like that. It's looking like they might actually lose this. She herself looks very powerful. So yeah, I misused that a little bit. Oh, Kel'Thas! Oh, in your face. Kel'Thas taken down. Again, the Disintegrate used 36,000 damage on Li-Ming. She is the highest hero damage dealer in this game thus far. Yeah, she herself looks really powerful, but it might actually end up with her having a 0% win ratio in competitive after this first initial match. I mean, of course, always like kidding here. We have down to the bottom of the map, again, camps taken. And I mean, all that Panda Global is currently attempting to do, of course, is to try and go for level 20. They want to hit that extra talent. They haven't really taken down a keep yet, and that's one of the most risky things in Heroes of the Storm, that you might be ahead in an entire match, but if you don't do anything with it, if you can't really kill anything, and it keeps take down the structures, then a comeback is always possible for the opponent, and that is what currently Resurgence is banking their hopes on. They're also setting up small traps here. Equinox is sitting right there. There's no vision, and the attempt to go for the damage burst. If all of that hits, then you can really just like drop hit points like crazy. That's of course something that Equinox has been trying to do the entire time here, always keeping himself in the background. Of course, the hero is quite squishy, so if you get the lockdown against her, that is a problem. But Equinox had so far very decent positioning in the fight. Level 20 talents on already, and that means Epic Mount for Falstad, Bolt of the Storm for Thrall, and also for Kel'Thas. Again, we have Hardened Focus, by the way, for Brightwing. I haven't really talked about this yet. Brightwing with a Hardened Focus and also with a Mist talent now taken on level 20. And ETC also going into the Crowd Pleaser on level 20 right now. Crowd Pleaser taken with the cooldown reduction. The Revitalizing Mist has been taken here now as well for Brightwing, so all about the healing power at this point. And talking healing power, Brightwing at 47,000 heals, looking very, very solid. Li-Ming still rocking the charts in damage, and that's not going to change anytime soon with Disintegrate once again being used. And those cooldown resets after deaths are, of course, crazy. Sundering once again in play, but there come always the missiles from Li-Ming. She goes for the orb. The Kel'Thas is down, and so is Falstad. Li-Ming with a double kill, going for the Disintegrate, trying to drop now AKA face as well. But we have the immediate move back by Panda Global, and that is Resurgence. After they lost Rhaegar, they are still in a 4 versus 3 position on the map, and they can now go for both of these temples. They're close to level 20 now as well. They had to fight the last fight without the 20 talents, without the Storm talents, but but they were successful at taking down 2 of the heroes, and especially, of course, Falstad and Khaldor. Those were the 2 that they did not want to lose. Equinox, again, trying to go for the poke here, already ready, and Shot is helping out with the shields. Li-Ming at the front, zoning very nicely also for those 2 temples that are still there. Level 20 is going to hit any moment now. Psalm in the middle, and Equinox with that. Look at that damage! Using this disintegrate now to also take down, oh my god, take down the structure here. Equinox with the damage output, just look at that spike. 45,000 in hero damage right now and 57 in siege mode. Li-Ming definitely is starting to put the numbers on the board. And not only the numbers, we have the level 20 talents, and that means for Li-Ming that we have Tal Rasha's element taken. So once again, up to the top, ETC looking for a chance. Indestructible has been used, and Dehu as well. Tal Rasha's element, as you can see here, the bonus damage that you can benefit from. And of course, that's overall a lot of bonus damage that you can get for the hero here. And let's face it, like, she needs more damage. I mean, she is already the top damage dealer in the game. So she's currently playing to her strengths. And the first keep that falls in the game is actually one of Panda Global. Exactly what we said earlier. There was at times a 2-level lead that we saw for Panda Global, but they weren't able to really translate that lead into structures destroyed. And therefore, they find themselves behind now. Again, it's a 5 versus 5 situation on the map, and of course they are attempting to really take them down now. But Equinox really far back. He knows about the range that he has here on his talents, and he is trying to use that lobby kit. Dropping so fast, and Equinox is just like bursting out the damage here with the missiles, with the orb, and always using Disintegrate as well. He knows, of course, that the cooldowns are incredibly low as is, and if you are able to get a kill in there as well, that instant reset is also quite amazing. Once again, we're currently seeing down to the bottom of the map, camps taken. I mean, all the camps on the map are, of course, now really focus points for the 2 teams here. You need to try and get those, but they are going for Li-Ming. Crowd please has been used. She's already used the teleport, but still they don't go for her. They can't really lock her down. They were trying to, but Thrall did not hit that lockdown. The teleport was there, and the damage against Psalm. Oh my god. Li-Ming, have mercy. She's really, really dishing out the damage now, isn't she? Especially with that level 20 talent. It's insane, the damage output. She's at 55,000 right now. She surpassed everyone else, and every single fight that we see, she's doing so much. She goes for Michael, but the lockdown, and she went too deep. Equinox went too deep, and now the kill against her, and that's the opportunity for Panda Global, and they're going for it. They're running it. They have Resurgence now. Sorry, they have the Ancestral Healing dropped on Jaina, so that doesn't really help them. And here comes again the crowd pleaser on 4. He's going to have that cooldown up in a second again. That's a 60-second cooldown reduction right there for B-Kid on his stage dive. They're going for Jaina. Phoenix drop Jaina down. They go for Tacita. B-Kid can jump in again if he wants to. He has that stage dive ready, but the boss is there and they go for it. Li-Ming going a bit too deep. Equinox slightly too greedy, or a bit of miscommunication with the team. Not quite sure what happened there, but the rest of them moved to the side. Falstad was, well, a bit of a bait, I suppose, and they were able to take her down, and from there on we saw Panda Global snowballing it, but 2 of the temples are still up. Dehu's soaking in the middle up at the top lane. Rixie on his Rhaegar trying to get even more. Down goes the keep at the top lane. Down here we see still 2 of those siege giants doing work as well. Michael is trying to take care of that, and now the temples under the control of Team Panda Global. With the boss moving in at the bot lane, but Li-Ming is ready for the defense, and yay, that is some damage there. But it could still drop that keep, of course. And talking about keeps drop, the mid lane is also slowly falling, as is the top lane, thanks to those temples. That keep down here looks very much like it's not going to be destroyed though. And that is starting to become a huge problem for Panda Global. Yes, they got their kills in. It's 12 kills against 6 in terms of kills. They're way ahead right now. But the big problem is that they still haven't taken down too many structures. The mid keep has finally fallen. The top keep, on the other hand, might not quite yet actually going to fall as well. So that's 2 keeps that they're able to eliminate. And they might even get the one at the bottom of the map. Not quite. It was close, but it's still there. So it's actually like an even situation when it comes to the structures. Top was abandoned. Yeah, if they could have taken that, then it would have dropped like the bot lane key. But in this case, it's actually now Resurgence that are able to take this one out. So yep, this one is going to be claimed. Couple of shots on the shield. That's not going to be of any consequence. But still, it's 3 lanes pushing now against Panda Global. And that's, of course, a bit of an issue. But I guess 1 lane, because on the other lanes we don't have a keep for Resurgence either. Yeah, taking another quick look at the damage output here. Li-Ming now at 57,000. I mean, she died shortly after I showed those stats. So Thrall is starting to actually close in a little bit. He's on 55,000 now himself. Khaldor is still leading the charts when it comes to the siege damage. Rhaegar, on the other hand, with 51,000 heals. Brightwing with 80,000 heals, just saying. Having a huge heal output right now. That's exactly what they need against Li-Ming, of course. Level 23 versus level 21 on the side of Panda Global. But again, they are, when it comes to structures, a little bit behind. Killing already moving around. Equinox is on the move as well. Everybody is starting to go to the top lane because there's a camp that has been captured. The Bruiser camp has to be taken out, and that's exactly what they're currently going for. So the immediate drop against that. Bot lane, very similar picture. There were 2 Siege Giants camps that were trying to move in. It's again about the team fight. And I mean, if Li-Ming overextends a bit, then of course you can lock her down and try to take her apart. That really worked well in the last fight, and they snowballed it from there. But if they can't get to her, then it's a huge problem for them. Stage dive can help with it, and especially with the way that the crowd pleaser worked here, the 60-second cooldown reduction that we saw when he hit 4 heroes. That is absolutely insane. You can jump around on ETC like a bunny on speed. It's absolutely out of this world. You're just like darting in the entire time. Didn't even have to go for the second jump because they already had most of them locked down. But this is now, like, they have to fight. They have to fight a team fight. If one of these temples gets soaked, then it's all over. Thankfully for them, ETC has stage dive. He can jump in now if need be. But Tassadar is now going for the bot lane. This is more or less, this is nearly a checkmate position right now, guys. They have to fight. If one temple goes completely to the opponent, this game is over. One temple is enough to drop the core, especially if you have one more hero like moving in. So once again, ETC is at the bot lane, already soaking a couple of the shots here. That's important. At the top, though, that's where we have Johanna. They need to go for Johanna. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. They need ETC. Will have to jump in. They're trying to go for Li-Ming right now. But Falstad is there. They're losing hit points on the core. They can't do this. Falstad is flying into the middle, is trying to take this over. Shots on the core, 30% only. 29 still fired. Mid lane action against Brightwing. They move away. They have to go for it. But there's already Jaina trying to drop it, and Resurgence, they are going to take the game. Or are they? Well, for now, Jaina is down, but we have Equinox moving in, and that's all that they need to do. Li-Ming, 100% win rate after her first game. GG, Resurgence with a victory here in the game on Sky Temple at the semi-final of the Enter the Storm, North America.
And that is it, everybody. GG and well played. The game's over, and therefore also the video for today here on KhaldorTV. We had another great Heroes of the Storm match, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Also hope that you enjoyed the commentary, of course. So thank you very much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to KhaldorTV yet, you should definitely hit that sub button as well. If you have some friends that like Heroes of the Storm, then definitely make sure that you show them the channel and also the video. There's a lot more where that came from. We're going to have like continuous content throughout the next few weeks with more Heroes of the Storm matches played, not only on the European server, but also on the North American server, in tournaments, in leagues, and more than that. So guys, once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope that you had some fun. It was a pleasure casting for you. And I'm going to see you next time with even more videos here on the channel. So have a great day and see you soon. Bye-bye.